There is so much freedom and humiliation and losing everything and becoming the person that you never wanted to be. There's so much freedom in standing in the middle of your local mall and having your Bible in your hand and just picking it up and saying, Jesus Christ is King. He is the first and last, the Alpha and Omega, and the beginning and the end. And just screaming that at the top of your lungs. Obviously, security and all that stuff gonna tell you, quiet. But it's not gonna be for too long, that you're yelling that. But people will hear it and just, that could be embarrassing, right? Because of the people and what you think that the very people that were created by your creator that you know about, that they think doesn't exist, but you know he's real. You're embarrassed of his creation judging you when the creator is telling you to do that? Oh, this is where we get somewhere. Following God is not easy. I ain't gonna lie. If you embarrassed or shy or I've always had that spirit in me of just something so bold and like I don't care, But since I care so much, that's why my actions prove I don't care, because I'm scared of caring. Because I know what it does to people. It ruins people and it destroys them and it sucks the life out of them like a vampire from the 1800s. So if God was complicated, we wouldn't follow him either. But he's so simple, and that bothers us. We want God to be perfect for us when we don't want to do something that we know that is God's will. Guys, so there's times where I doubt the existence of God. And, the other day I was fasting, right? And, well, I mean, it was crazy. There was stuff that I did not want to believe, and I did not want that. I convinced myself that God was not real and that it was a lie. And I try to convince my buddy too. I'm like, no, this is a lie. No, I just fasted and I realized that this is because there's people that have always told me stuff like, oh, I believe that God did that for you, but when you believe in something so much, it's going to start happening, because that's what manifestation is, right? And when my buddy girl said this to me, I was distraught. I got offended because I realized that it could be true. And then a year later, I was fasting and I realized oh, she was right. The only reason why all these good things are happening to me is because I'm manifesting them as thinking that they're in Jesus Christ and from Jesus Christ. Now, they were, but isn't it crazy how your mind can really make you think? And I've never had a bad day in my life. I've never had a bad day. I've never said this is the worst day of my life or a bad day. Not to seem more entitled than you, or I'm specifically aware of some kind of happiness religion that you haven't heard about. No. I simply know what it's like to be a victim, and I refuse to self-sabotage myself into that reality. Because you can create it for yourself if, and that's the thing with, if you start reading the Bible and stuff, and I thought, I'm creating this, I'm creating all this thing, and Jesus Christ is a whole big ass manifestation. That's the first time I ever cussed in this video, so I'm gonna have to edit that out because, you know what? I don't want to edit that out. Okay, Lord, forgive me for cussing in this video. I don't want to show that. Whoever sees this, I don't want to influence them in that way. So let that person know that that was a mistake. I'm not going to edit out because my editing app is messed up. I don't know what's going on with it, but God, please, like, that is just unacceptable. I'm speaking death out of my lips. So God, and if I get conviction about this and I feel like he's still telling me to like edit it out, I will, but hopefully maybe I won't get conviction once I tell him, like, but yes, God, please forgive me. I know I interrupted halfway, but I had to tell them that yeah, God, I regret that, and that's not right. I don't want to show them. I don't want them to think it's okay to be cussing like that, okay? And that was a slip. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying not to, because it's not right, and you're speaking death out of your mouth. Anyways, so don't go out there saying what I said. Seriously, like, it was just a mistake. We slip up. Like, I'm not trying to influence you into saying that word, okay? It's not cool. That's ridiculous, okay? We can use better vocabulary. And why are we speaking death into our life? Like, what is the point? Right. Words have meaning. That's why when you say in the name of Jesus, demons flee. Oh yeah, they do have meaning. So if you say the F word, oh yeah, that has power. And that's why people think they're God, but I'm about to get into that. Now, that day was the worst day of my life. That day was the worst day of my life when I realized God was not real, because I felt this sense of loneliness, this sense of longing for something that will never come, ever, for something that never existed. I was longing my whole life and convincing myself and reaching so hard for this feeling. And really, there are a lot of things that can really convince you that Jesus Christ is just it was like a mental physician. Like, I don't know how to say, like, facade, but like in a mental way that someone thought, this is gonna help people when they realize that nothing exists and they can't get help from anywhere. Let's make up this man called Jesus Christ and have crazy people rely on him. And it made sense to me. I was like, wow, this is the truth. Like, am I God? Or let's find out who God is, right? Y'all. And I was like, nah, God ain't real. Like, wow, this is really what it came to. Like, wow. But then I asked myself, how was it possible that certain things happen in my life that, how is that possible, right? And I was like, yeah, because you believed in it so much that you manifested that. And maybe when you're praying to Jesus Christ, you're praying to something else, but it's not Jesus Christ, but it is God, and he's listening to you. So that's what I thought. Like, maybe there is God, but he's not Jesus Christ, because I believe a God is just, he's not Jesus, right? Now, how I knew he was Jesus was because he would speak to me through the Bible. That's how I knew. Because if you're just having things happen to you, like, oh, I got delivered in this and that, all the things that God is doing, and you'll know why I'm saying this in a second. All the things that God is doing are a manifestation of your belief. That's so deep in something that's not even real, but it is God. But that's the thing. You're manifesting a higher being because Jesus Christ isn't real. Now, that's a lie. Jesus Christ is real. But stay with me. I'm trying to explain this because it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Because I'm human. Does it make sense now? Like, I can't, so that's why the proof of God is real. But how do we know Jesus Christ, right? Now, there was certain things that I was praying about, and in Jesus Christ's name, that's what he did. And he made it known to me that he was hearing me, but through this book. And I thought, man, this is such a fake book. Wow, like fake book, just like any book. Like, I literally had these 2 Freemasonry books sitting there, Freemasonry encyclopedias. And I grabbed the Holy Bible and I put it next to those 2 books. And I said, look at this as well. What makes the Holy Bible different from these 2 books? What's the difference? Can you tell me? And that's when I was like, oh yeah, God's not real. This is all fake. But when you start talking to God, right? Or that God is real, but it's not Jesus Christ. But when you start talking to Jesus Christ and God, but it's the same thing. So we're not going to understand that. You don't need to understand everything, but you want to. There's enough understanding to the point where you're like, okay, I understand. And it's complicated. But let me finish. When he started agreeing with the things that this book was saying, and he was kind of communicating about the same thing that was in this book, that's when I was like, this is Jesus Christ. Now, why would the devil communicate to me? And if what I was talking to was a different God, then why would he communicate to me through this book? If this book is fake. Like, does it make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's there, and like I'm trying to get it out, but I need to I don't know. It's a lot of stuff, but anytime that I start obsessing over the way that I look, you guys just saw me fixing my hair, because my beauty used to be a big part of my life, and the way I looked and my hair and my physical appearance used to basically be who I was, which is really miserable. Ew. Every time I start getting all self-conceited, right? I look at myself and I'm like, God created you. And then I imagine what God is like. And it's like, if God just created me and I'm this beautiful and I look this way and I just feel like I'm just so cool and like I have this great personality, and I start kind of idolizing myself like, oh, I'm just so cool. But it's like, who gave you all those things? Who gave you all those things? And it's like, I had no choice but to humble myself. And every time that I look in the mirror too, I start feeling like obsessed with my appearance. I just say, from dust you come and dust you shall return. And I just say that to myself in the mirror very seriously. Because it's necessary when, why did it look like I was about to pick my boogers with my knuckle? Anyways, it's just necessary when you believe in God. And I don't think we need to believe in God, guys. I think we need to know God's real. I think we need to know, because that's the truth, And yeah, it's just too much. It's way too much that, nah. And the too much could be a manifestation for me because of how powerful I am, right? But why is it this? Why are you communicating me through this book? The only thing that would, because then it would be deceiving me, right? Who would do that? The devil. But the devil can't communicate to me through this book because that's holy. That's holy scripture. So that's my proof of Jesus Christ. Does that make sense? Or, I don't know. It doesn't have to make sense, because God gonna make it make sense to you if he really wants to see you in heaven with him. Because there's some people, but it depends on you too, because and that's where but why did God make you that way? But that's the thing, a lot of the things that make or break you aren't from God. They're the things you do to yourself. The sin causes death, and it's like repercussion upon yourself that you're throwing as self-sabotage, full rocks. Just rocks that are self-sabotage. So a lot of the stuff that happens is because of us. Now, also, I've always had this like weird feeling in my stomach, because my anxiety goes to my stomach. It doesn't stay here. It doesn't show through my body. No, it literally attacks my stomach. It makes my stomach hurt, to the point where it's like, you know how stress feels in your brain? It's literally like, it's not a stomach ache. It's literally, it's like my brain is in my stomach. That's what it feels like. And when I feel like that, it's one of the worst feelings. I can't focus on nothing else but that feeling, because it's so strong and dominant. And subconsciously, I'm thinking all these things about it, right? So it just makes it worse. Now, I've never been able to take that away. Maybe I've tried to meditate and like really focus. I try to be like, okay, Zul, you can take this away. Like, basically saying, okay, you're God. You can do this. You can do anything, right? But that's not really how it works, because I was never able to take it away. The only reason why it would go away is once I did the thing that I was supposed to do, because usually I get that feeling when I need to do something. But we always need to do something in life. Ain't nothing to worry about when it comes to that. So that's just, you got to see things for what they are too. It's just what it is, you know? And that's when you find joy, because, and a lot of this comes from Jesus Christ. I can't get this on my own. I really can't. It's inaccessible. I'm handicapped when it comes to this world, in a spiritual sense, when it comes to wanting to help myself, because spiritually I can't do anything. I was about to say a cuss word, so I said I can't do shoot. Like, I try to like change it with like a filler word that's not a cuss word, but I realized shoot doesn't make sense, so that's why I went like 2 times. So that if you were confused, but you probably didn't even care. You just like, oh, okay, that's weird, but I explained it now, so if you was overthinking about it, I'm pretty sure you don't care. Okay, so back to the thing I was saying. I forgot what I was saying, but I just remembered. So God, he's not like, he's gonna do everything for you, like sexual sin, all these things, anxiety. It literally, bro, all those things, they literally leave so fast. Like, that was cringy, because I tried to snap with my left hand, and that's not how it works. See, always see, I feel like that's an analogy or some kind of metaphorical example. Like, I tried to use my left hand to write because I was too busy holding my phone. But really, I could have been slick and just went like this and just, that's too easy to get rid of, you know. But no, like, I wanted to do things the hard way and think I can snap with, you know. But my dominant hand is this one, so it should be smarter to just do that. Right, now where I'm going with this, let me tell y'all. I think that when you halfway do things, we're never gonna grow. But when you do something all the way from the genuine of your heart, like the genuine depths of your heart, like, it's gonna change you, and you will feel so different. Because imagine someone cussing you out and you go to hug them and they still cussing you out. You hug them a little bit tighter, they get more angry because they start to feel your love. And it's the complete exact opposite of what they're trying to make you feel with the power of their words, because they think they're God. But the God that controls me is inside me hugging you, so therefore you cannot affect me. Now that's when love changes you, because that person starts to soften. With the grip of my arms on them and the hold of my love and understanding is the perfect recipe that essentially provides the hope that one's soul is longing for. So that is why we should always react with love. And when something makes me angry, I can't really react with love right away. It's still been hard for me because that's very hard. What I do instead is I just either stare at them or I just get quiet and not say nothing, which is very torturous for me because I love to say things. I love to speak and I love to clarify myself. I will talk 1,000 words a minute if it means that you will understand how I feel. But, you can't help someone unless they want to be helped. So it's like I could say all I want, but that they don't care. And it stresses me out the more that they don't care. But the more that they see me trying to explain myself, they take advantage of that. They're like, okay, you gonna keep explaining yourself. Why do I need to actually try to understand? So that's why it's this whole thing. And that's just how I am. I can't help it. I'm very emotional and empathetic. I feel a lot of things. I feel everything. But it's like the same thing. It's like knowing everything. It's just fucking miserable. But would I rather be clueless and not feel anything? Or would I rather feel everything and know everything? I think somewhere in the middle is where you need to be, because all extremes are bad. But that's where God comes in, because you need a balance. You need the divine, the one and only. And that's where those things that don't make sense become okay. But literally, what does that word mean? Okay. Okay. We're done here. Okay. Understood. So it's like an internal comfort that is the finishing of something distressful. Is okay. Not that it's okay, but that you accept it. Because a lot of things aren't okay when we say it's okay. So I'm going to finish the video here. I'm really trying to be more gentle and soft because the Holy Spirit has been convicting me of there's nothing wrong with my strong personality, but having a strong personality isn't gentle, isn't of the Spirit. It's a little bit stubborn and a little bit deep down inside troubled, because that's the only reason the person's like that. Everything comes from something, right? And if someone told you their childhood trauma didn't affect them, they're lying to you. Now, I was going to take out the trash, but whatever, I did it yesterday. So, doesn't mean it's okay that I didn't do it today. But, it's just, guys, look, there's so many things I could keep talking about, but it's already been 24 minutes, and I don't even know if you guys are still watching. I hope you are, and if you are, it's God's will. Again, do not cuss. Do not, and off camera, I'm not cussing like crazy. Like, I'm not just acting. Like, no, like, I'm really, and sometimes I do. But I get convicted, and I really try not to cuss. But yeah, guys, so that's what I want to leave y'all with. I love you guys so much. Because, and there's not a lot of you guys, but I don't care. Because you guys is like one person to me. I don't know. I know, like, I probably, like, act like with the things I'm saying, like, when I say you guys, I'm acting like I have, like, this platform, but it like, I don't know, I really feel like I do. Like, I feel like the angels in heaven watch my videos. And obviously, I'm not going to get any views on them because they don't have phones, but they could still watch it. And I feel like they're like, wow, that's good. That's what we want. That's God's will, right? Except not the cussing part. And I'm really trying to bring that to the light because I'm not going to be able to edit it out. Guys, that's wrong. Don't cuss. Like, anyways, okay. Y'all get it. I love you guys. If you feel like you're straying away from God, from Christ, just open that Bible and just read it. Just read it. And you don't even have to talk to him if you don't want to, but every day just do something to get closer to God. Something. Because today was honestly really bad. I didn't talk to God and I didn't read my Bible. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's not old because I already explained to y'all why, Jesus Christ is real. So, but it's also a knowing. It's not just believing, because I don't believe that anyone believes in Jesus Christ. I believe that they know. Actually, no. I know that they know because I no longer believe. Like, I don't know. But I have to keep using that because that is biblical to believe. And that's hopeful. And those are all fruits of the Spirit. So yeah, guys, bye. And I have to say bye now because I'm gonna keep talking and I love to talk. So yeah, bye.